friends, this is Amrita Chaudhary and today we are going to discuss the topic the French Revolution. So, why we are only discussing the revolution of France? Why not the revolution of other countries? Because the constitution of many countries have three ideologies in common, which is equality, which is that all the laws and the advantages are common for the people. Liberty, that the freedom of doing anything in the nation, and fraternity is to promote brotherhood to increase the unity of the nation. So before going to the part of French Revolution, we should know some points of French. So in 1774, Louis XVI became the king at the age of 20. He was married to an Austrian princess called Mary. When the Louis XVI became the king, he noticed that his royal treasury was empty. What was the reasons? Because the most of the money was wasted in maintaining the splendor of the palace where king and queen lived. The second was the France was involved in the 7-year war between the France and England. Beside that, the France had 13 colonies of America to gain independence against British because of they have common enemy. And Louis XVI realized that if he will take loans from landlords, it will add 1 billion livre to already existing 2 billion livre. So what is livre? The currency of France until 1789. And by taking this advantage, the landlords charge 10% interest in the debt. So now, old regime. So what is old regime? The common term used to describe the society and institution of France. The society of France was divided into three parts, which is clergies, who worked as the church, who worked in church, nobles, who was near to the king and served king, and common people. Common people include farmers, peasants, craftsmen, lawyers, and other professions. And the folks of clergies and nobles do not have to pay tax, and all the tax was paid by the third state, and 90% of the population was of third state. And in fact, the 60% of the land owned by the France was owned by these two states, so that the third state do not have their own land. So what were the tax paid by the third state? The first is taille. Taille was the common tax paid by the all the third state, and taille was paid by the third state to the clergies, that 1/10 of the agriculture produce to maintain the church. Now, daily life of common people, where the king of the France expect these peasants to pay the taxes and bear the consequences of empty treasury. Their life was himself was a struggle. There was a problem known as hunger, because there was bad harvest due to the cold winter, and the population of France increased from 23 million to 28 million between 1714 to 1789. And this gives the fire to the France to who gave the revolution. Now, middle class. What is middle class? As we discussed earlier that there was third state, and now the middle class was the part of third state which was educated and wealthier than the common people of third state. Now, what were the contributors of thinkers of the middle state? There were three important peoples of the middle class. The first was John Locke, who written the book called Two Treatises of Government, in which he refused to the doctrine of divine, in which the king is the messenger of the god and king should rule the nation, and absolute right to the monarchy. The second is Rousseau, who written the social contract, in which he said that the government of the nation should be run according to the choice of the people. And the second and third is Montesquieu. He written the book called The Spirit of Government, in which he said that the power of government should be divided in three parts, which is legislative, executive, and judiciary. This is the common government of all the countries. So in this video we have discussed some points of France, and that when the Louis XVI realized that the treasury was empty, that all the load was given to the third state and old regime, and we saw that what was the life of the common people in that time, and what was the thinking of the middle class, and how the revolution will grow in next chapter.